Are you ready?
Sure. I didn't prepare like Paul did, so.
No, that's fine. You looked at the questions at least?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, we're here for Eileen's 69th birthday. 11/11/55. So 69? Wild. I say wild a lot. Anyways. All right, well, happy early birthday, right? Today's the 10th? Yep.
Thank you.
Happy early birthday. All right, let's jump in. Do you have a favorite moment from this past year?
I think it's probably the job I took on. I became my old co-worker and friend's her caregiver, thinking she would get well and I could help her walk again and things, but it didn't happen that way. But it was a very productive type job. It made me feel productive and useful.
And fulfilled?
Yes.
Yeah?
It fulfilled my need to nurture.
Yeah? Cool. And how long did you do that?
Since March, so 6 months. Oh, more like 8 months.
Okay.
Yeah, about 8.5 months. She passed away last night.
Last night?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
She went home to Jesus.
Wow, how old was she?
85.
Wow. Was she passed on okay?
Yep.
She ready?
She was definitely ready. She hung on way too long.
Yeah.
But she had some reason for wanting to stay around. I'm glad she got to go home to Jesus. That it was her destiny that she dreamed of.
Well, that's good. Yeah. Wow, cool. Not cool.
Yeah.
Dang.
It is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's heavy to think about, but I don't know. Sometimes it's nice to
blessed
think.
to have the opportunity. I did want her to get well, but at least I was there.
Yeah.
She's the lady that took care of Cassie's mom, our white poodle. And then that's how we became Cassie's adoptive parents when Norma moved on.
And you used to work with her? At, what was that place called?
Prestonwood Court. She was Norma's companion, and I was a caregiver / activities person.
Okay. Cool. Well, I'm glad you got to do that. You think you want to do something like that again?
I'd rather not, but if
I mean, at least take care of somebody, or no?
I'm not going to search for it. I didn't
No.
search for this one, but it fell in my lap, and I was more than willing.
Yeah.
And if something like that would fall in my lap again, I'd do it. But at my age, it's getting more difficult. So as long as it's companionship, I'm still ready. But
Okay.
the physical side of it,
It's getting a little tougher.
quite tough.
Totally tough. And I mean, you're not a big, strong person anyways. But you did it forever.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I have the results of that.
Now you're feeling. Well, good for you. All right, next question. Did you try anything new this past year that you can recollect?
Getting up early with the rest of the world. I tend to sleep in quite late.
Oh, yeah, you do.
And this work opportunity that I had taught me I can get up and survive in the morning. So I would like to continue that and start doing constructive things with my own home. So that's one thing, learning to get up before noon. And what else? Just the biggest thing this year is realizing how blessed I am and how blessed our family is
Mm-hmm.
because of things I was exposed to this year. Some families aren't as blessed as ours, and it makes me really appreciate the closeness and bond that our family has with each other and for each other. And I'm very grateful for that.
Our big little family. Yeah. Yeah, we're a pretty tight little group. Yeah. Cool. All right. Next question. What is something that used to be difficult but is now easy? Who's that?
Oh, that's Tim
Oh,
and Carol. So, I don't really know. I think just once again the sleep thing. I used to not be able to get up before noon, and I'm doing much better with that. But just I don't really have a specific thing.
Yeah.
I work with the church. I help Michelle with a grief share group, and that's gotten easier to share with the other members, to try to use some of my wisdom from learning with them to make their way of dealing with grief easier. And it's also helped me with grief, especially this past weekend, losing Ruth and realizing that she is definitely in a better place.
Yeah, you feel like there's still plenty to learn, even though you've done so much.
Yes.
You've been through some shit.
Yes, I'm always learning, and I do love to learn because I'm not very good with academic type learning, but I love life learning and life experience, and
yeah. Cool. Right. It's almost Cowboys time.
Gotta hurry.
Cool. All right. Next question. I don't know why I like this question, but it's funny because it always gives me the shortest answers from people. If you could create a rule that everyone had to follow, what would it be?
To love one another unconditionally. To just forgive. Don't hold grudges. Forgive, forgive, forgive. Family's too important. Friendships are too important. Don't waste them. Treat them with love and care.
Absolutely.
And if you feel slighted, talk about it, get over it, and get on being loving.
Completely agree. I feel like sometimes, I'm not trying to throw Anna under the bus, but she has a very large family, and drama happens all the time. But she's like, man, screw this person. I ain't doing this for them. I ain't gonna go do this with them or whatever. And I'm like, be better.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. Sure, they suck, but just know that you're better than them. And
exactly. It's not a competition.
Exactly. Yeah, because if you're gonna be petty, someone else is being petty. It's just ugly.
Lowering yourself to their level.
Exactly.
You're better than that.
Just be better. Yeah. I like that one. Good rule. Okay. What do you love to do that no one knows about?
Sleep. No.
No, everybody
knows about that. Sudoku puzzles, everybody knows about that. Maybe just reminiscing, like when I'm driving in the car, listening to music, and just reminiscing about fun times in the past, and dreaming of fun times in the future. And I still like to dream
Mm.
and remember, and lots of exciting events in my life.
Yeah. What do you listen to? What kind of music do you listen to in the car?
Classic rock and roll.
What station?
92.5 or 98.7.
Okay. Do you ever hear songs that remind you of stuff?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. All usually good or always good? Or just
Mostly good.
random things you're like, oh yeah.
I saw them in concert.
Oh, that's cool.
We used to have a dance routine to that song. We thought we were so cool.
What was the song you and Michelle always did the fish flop
Oh,
to?
the shout.
Is that what it was?
Shout.
What was it?
yeah.
What'd you call it? The fish flop?
Fish flop or dying cockroach.
Was that an actual thing or y'all just made that up?
I believe it's from Animal House.
Oh, okay.
In
That
the
makes
toga
sense.
parties, they did it. So I think we got it from there, but that's been a routine at weddings, and now I can't get up once I'm flopping.
Yeah.
I need help getting up.
You need to gently lay down and wiggle and then someone pick you up. That's-
Yep.
I forgot that was a thing. That's funny. Okay. Well, this was a tough one. When was the last time you were proud of yourself?
It's probably actually, once again, this past job that I learned how to make boundaries
Mm.
and stick to them. And I'm a yes person. It's hard for me to say no, and
Mm-hmm.
and I finally had to learn to say no. That's not my job description. I'm here as a friend, and I finally had to put up personal boundaries, and I stuck to them, and that's something that has been very hard
That
for
is wow. Yeah, that's hard.
me. And
Did you find it hard in the moment, or was it easier for some reason?
it was kind of a progression.
Mm.
You know, I started learning I can say no, and then I sort of practiced with little things, and then towards the end, I was able to say no. I can't do that.
Because when you would say, or when you wanted to say no, but you would say yes because you didn't want to be an asshole or something.
I'm a pleaser, and I
Yeah.
just wanted to always please, and it's like, this isn't pleasant for me.
Yeah.
And so, no. My job is to take care of Ruth and make her happy and comfortable, and, you know, I'm not going to vacuum today.
Okay.
You know, so just setting boundaries, that was a biggie for me, and I think I'll be able to use that in the future because
And then you didn't feel bad about doing that, right?
Mm-mm.
That's good.
It was
Yeah.
freeing. It was actually freeing that it's okay to set boundaries, and it made me better because I was getting too emotionally involved and mentally upset, and the stress was becoming unnecessary, and I was
Mhm.
putting it on myself because it's important to enjoy your work, and it had gotten unenjoyable, and
Yeah.
so I set boundaries, and it became much more rewarding.
Wow, that's cool. Good. Yeah, like you said, there's still time to learn. That's cool. I'm glad you did that. All right. Is there anything you want to accomplish by your next birthday?
Just staying active and learning to do some housekeeping. I've never been good at housekeeping, and I would like to try to improve on that.
Yeah.
Still can't vacuum because of my shoulders, but
Oh no.
I can get one of the gentlemen to do that for me. So,
What's up,
Hi,
gang?
I'm bombing your interview.
Yeah, you are.
my husband of 46 years,
46.
my son of 44 years.
What? Oh, that was to the camera. Nice.
So, just personal things. It's time I start, taking care of myself too, and I've delayed all my doctor's appointments and checkups and my teeth, that kind of thing.
Mm.
Take care of me.
You still got all your teeth?
Most of them.
Well, that's pretty impressive. I worked with a guy that was in his early 60s, and they were all gone. I worked with him during COVID, and we wore masks, obviously, all day, every day. And he stopped putting his dentures in, and you could tell by the way he talked. He was like, "Fuck it, I'm not putting my teeth in today. Nobody's gonna see my face." So I thought that was fun. Anyways, you don't have dentures.
Not yet.
Because you take care of your teeth. Remember, you guys drilled that into us.
How about we go watch them Cowboys?
Yeah, okay, but Seth and Sarah started the tradition of telling the story of how we met. It's obviously completely different for us.
Well, you were my last try for a girl.
Uh-huh.
And you ended up coming out with a twin sister, so that was very exciting.
Yeah.
And, but I met you in my womb.
But you didn't know me. That's wild.
And you were quite active in the womb and did several somersaults, and that's why they thought it was two boys. You went from the top to the bottom and always hid your sister because you were making sure she was modest.
Sure.
And then at birth, you didn't want to come out. I always told you your nose was stuck on my rib.
Yep.
Because you had a cute little pug nose.
Yeah, that thing was almost flat.
And so you were both quite a blessing, and you still are.
Thanks.
I just wish I saw you more often.
Mm.
But that's selfish.
Yes, your selfish desires. Cool. Well, do you remember, like, when we were born? So, Megan came out first, obviously, and we were C-section babies.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually, I don't know how C-sections work, but they were having trouble getting me out or what?
Yes, you were. I had intended to have you naturally, but they said you were breech, which meant you were upside down and would have come out feet first.
Okay.
So they had to, once they got Megan out of the way, then they went in after you. And it took 2 doctors. She had an assistant with her, and I guess they each got a leg or something. And I'm not sure how, but I had a curtain in front of me, but I could see after they pulled you out. And you didn't cry. And that scared me to death. And I kept looking up at Jim saying, "Why isn't he crying? Why isn't he crying?" And then they took you over to clean you up. And I just kept saying, "Why isn't he crying?" And I was very, very nervous. And finally you cried, and I was so excited. And then they took me back to my room. And since I'd had a spinal injection to numb me from the waist down, I wasn't supposed to move for like 12 hours, and I was just laying there. And finally, when the night shift nurse came, I said, "When can I see the babies? I still hadn't seen you or held you."
What the heck?
She said, "Well, you just had a C-section." I said, "Yeah."
I don't give a shit.
She said, "Well, most women don't want to see them until the next day." And I said, "I need to see them now."
What?
I kept thinking something was wrong, why they wouldn't bring me my babies. And then they brought you. Oh, and all was well with the world.
Yeah.
They taught me the football method. Put your feet behind me and your heads in my palms to nurse you. And then they ran to get a Polaroid because they thought that was the cutest thing they'd ever seen, these 2 little round coconuts in my hands.
I think I see the picture in my head. I know it's around here somewhere.
Somewhere in the shoe boxes you'll clean out when I'm gone.
No, we're going to find it because I'm going to put it on this video. Yeah.
But it was just a thrill, and you guys were actually much easier than the first 3 because
me and Paul were talking about that.
I was older and more experienced, and you two entertained each other. I didn't have to do all the entertaining. I would sit you in your little pumpkin seats facing each other, and you'd carry on in your personal language, and I'd sit you in front of Sesame Street or some kind of bright, colorful learning station, and so you guys were actually easier because you had each other, and I knew a lot more.
Yeah.
And after you guys, I finally learned to laugh that motherhood isn't easy, and this is and I found the humor in children and raising them. And when Megan puked on Paul's lap in the car, and Megan tried to tear your hair out in the stroller because we had a choo-choo train stroller, and she always sat in the back and you were in the front. And of course, when you'd get hurt, you would cry and not breathe, and then you'd faint. So I'd look down and your face would be blue, and realize Megan had just ripped your hair out from behind. So we had to switch positions and put her in the front and you in the back because she was a bully.
And I was nonviolent.
Yes. And finally, another time you were on the floor by the couch, or she was on the couch, and you wanted to share her toy, and she said no and grabbed you by the hair. And I was on the phone, the corded phone, and couldn't come, and with a doctor or something, and you came running out screaming she pulled my hair, and I said, well, pull hers back. And you went over to the couch and she said, you better not, and you did. You ripped her ball-headed, and I was so proud of you. She never touched you again.
You were so proud of me. That's funny.
Yeah, you defend yourself.
Yeah.
She was such a bully.
That's funny. Man, do you remember bringing us home?
I remember having to have the 2 pumpkin seats and stuff. We didn't have real car seats back then, but no. Let's see, we were in Highland Village.
Yeah.
And we had to get another crib. I think we got one from Nana and one from Dick and Doris, maybe. But anyhow, you guys slept in the same crib for months.
In just one crib?
Yeah. And I'd put your feet this way. And so there was lots of room. And then I had a basket swing that you cranked up, and I could put you both in there, and you'd lay for hours swinging. And then as you grew, I got a second swing. But yeah, I remember we rented that house in Highland Village, and I didn't want him to know we had 2 more kids because I wasn't sure if there was a limit on how many kids you could have in a house. And then I had put, Grandma Mac was there, and she got 2 storks, a blue and a pink stork. And then the landlord came to the door with a gift, and we brought diapers, and said congratulations. And I was like, wow, I was worried about nothing.
Oh, okay.
But anyhow, it was a glorious day.
Nice. Cool. All right.
Let's go watch some cowboys.
Yeah. Thanks for doing this.
All right, I love you.
Love you too. See you next year.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.